Hey, what's up guys? It's Texamer talking to you here, and today I want to talk about the M2 MacBook Air because there's been a lot of talks that the M2 MacBook Air is coming in WWDC, and as you know, there's less than 1 week for WWDC because it will happen next Tuesday. Today is Thursday, so it will happen next Tuesday, and it's actually very interesting to know that in less than 5 days we could get a new MacBook and with a totally new redesign and a totally new chip. But this M2 chip is very interesting because a lot of leakers are saying that the M2 chip might be delayed, and even Min-Chi Kuo a few months back talked about the fact that the M2 MacBook Air would be coming with an M1, not an M2. So it will be the same M2 that we know for now, like the leaks and the design and mini LED, white bezels, but with an M1. But I don't think I agree, because Min-Chi Kuo, although he's talking about the fact that this M2 MacBook Air will be coming with M1, other leakers are saying that it will still come with an M1, but this M1 won't be as powerful as we were thinking, because it won't be based on the new architecture from TSMC, a 4nm or a 5nm architecture, but on the 5nm plus that we have now and that we also got with the A15. So yes, it will be having A15 cores, not A16, like we were thinking. So the jump in performance won't be as big as we were thinking, and even the GPUs won't be as strong and as fast as we were thinking. But don't be completely alarmed, because the M2 MacBook Air will still be having a little bit of a jump on the CPU side and GPU side, just because it will have even more GPU cores, 9 to be more precise, and it will have a little bit more powerful on those cores. So this is a very strange topic that I want to cover today. What happens if the M2 MacBook Air doesn't come with the real M2? Well, if you are interested in this matter, don't forget to drop a like down below and subscribe to my channel. That will really help me out. And of course, let's roll the intro. As you know, the MacBook Air is a very interesting product because it is the best bang for your buck in terms of the Mac lineup. And right now, you have two options: the binned M1 version and the full fat M1. These two are amazing computers. They are amazing values. If you go for the cheapest MacBook Air possible, it costs you $999 and it comes with a binned M1. Then you have the $1199 or the $1099 not binned version, which comes with 8GB of RAM and of course the full fat M1. But what happens if Apple wants to release an M2 MacBook Air on this lineup? What will happen to the M1 and what will happen to the full fat M1? Well, in my opinion, I do think that Apple will keep the $999 version, the binned M1 version, and probably give it the full fat M1. So bring the price of the full fat M1 down a bit and cost $999. Then you will have the M2 MacBook Air at around $100 more than the current full fat M1. So yes, Apple will increase the price of the new redesigned MacBook Air, but also will keep the M1 on the lineup to make the entry price of the MacBook Air at $999 still. And next year and the year after that, Apple will bring down the prices. That's how they work with the redesigns on the MacBook Air lineup. They simply just add up a bit on the first year of the redesign and then they take out on the years afterwards. But with this redesign, we're also meant to get the M2 chip, which was supposed to be an incredible jump for the M1 lineup, for the base lineup, because the M2 chip will be based on the new architecture with ARM9 V9 technology, and it will have A16 cores, not A15. So that would be incredible, because if the M1 MacBook Air right now is still an amazing deal, it's so powerful that it covers like 95% to 99% of consumer needs, then this M2 MacBook Air will cover them all, and it will solve all of these people's problems about the GPU. Well, it still will, because in my opinion, the GPU with the adding of more cores will be quite a big of a jump, but in terms of CPU, it's not as big of a story, because we'll be getting A15 cores. And as you know, A15 wasn't that big of a jump from A14 as you were thinking. So it's still the same core technologies, so the jump will be around 10 to 15%. Here's the graphics explaining to you and giving to you maybe the results for the new A15 based M2, and as you can see, it's not the greatest results ever. It's a jump, it's like a 10 to 15% jump. The biggest jump that we'll notice is on the GPU side, just because you will have even more cores. But if we don't get the most powerful M2 on the MacBook Air, then when will we get this M2? Well, my prediction is Apple will delay this M2 technology for the M3 chip coming with the next iMac, or even they will update the M2 lineup with the next iMac in 2023, because Apple is rumored to launch an iMac 24-inch in 2023. If that happens and they want to put then the M2 newest technologies there, they will. Or they will save it for the M2 Pro and M2 Max. I don't know, I'm not sure. But of course that could happen. This is problems caused by supply chains, not for Apple's decision. Apple is just adapting to the moment right now. So yes, the M2 MacBook Air might not be coming with an M2 chip, but it will be named M2 MacBook Air and the chip inside will be an M2 chip. Confused? Me too. So I think Apple will call it M2 for marketing purposes, but it won't be the full-fat M2 that we were supposed to get. So that will be saved for the M3. Of course, the M2 will be still an amazing computer. Don't be mad. Don't really wait one more year just because of the M3, or 2 years, because the M1 is now almost 2 years old. So don't not wait for that. And if you need a computer now, buy the M2 MacBook Air if it comes out in WWDC, because that's also a possibility, not certain, because the M2 MacBook Air was also rumored to come out at the end of 2022 and not on WWDC. So I'm not sure when will that launch and when will that happen, but I'm pretty sure that we'll be seeing it in 2022. So Apple won't be delaying it much further than the end of this year. WWDC will happen Tuesday, June 6th, 3-4 days from now. So all of doubts will be taken. And of course, I hope that Apple launches the M2, launches the Mac Pro, launches iOS 16 and makes huge changes to iPadOS 16. I'm very, very happy with that. And of course, the talks from the M2 Mac Mini and the M2 MacBook Pro, they all apply for this M2 MacBook Air. They will have all the same chip. So if Apple increases the performance only a bit on the M2 and the GPU power only a bit, you will be noticing it on the M2 Mac Mini and the M2 MacBook Pro that were also supposed to come out this WWDC. So I'm very excited for Tuesday's event, and if you are also, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Of course, I will cover the event to the fullest in the day that it launches. So I'm very happy with that. I'm very excited for the Tuesday's event. WWDC, always a great event to happen, and this year, WWDC 2022 will be no exception. Are you excited for WWDC? Let me know in the comments down below. And what are your thoughts about the M2 MacBook Air? Are you mad that Apple will be shortcoming on the M2 chip, or do you comprehend their choice but don't want them to increase the prices? Let me know in the comments down below. That has been it. This is Tex More talking to you guys. Bye.